to the Morning Show right in the Rise News channel. Last week, Thursday, I should say, about 10 a.m., Nigeria's President Muhammadu Buhari landed at the airport located at the Air Force Base in Maiduguri. The president was on a one-day official visit to Borno State to appraise security challenges in the northeast of the country. Chief of Defense Staff General Lucky Irabor and other service chiefs accompanied him. During his visit, President Buhari assessed the security situation in the northeast, which is a theater of insurgency and terrorist attack. He also addressed the troops of Operation Hadinkai at Memelari Cantonment. According to Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum, who received the president, he stated that Buhari's visit to Borno State served as a morale booster to the Nigerian troops who have engaged in a battle with Boko Haram, ISWAP, and other terrorist groups in the northeast of the region. So joining us today from Abuja studios to assess the president's visit to the northeast of Borno State is Patrick Agbambu, President, CEO, Security Watch Africa Initiative. Patrick, pleasure to have you once again. Let's dissect the visit. Was it a morale booster? Or just, another visit to be able to say, okay, we're winning against the insurgents and we can do more? What was it really for you?
Yeah, for me, it was a morale booster. And to soldiers and officers of the Nigerian military and the security forces in the northeast, particularly in the Operation Hadinkai, it was a morale booster. It was he was well received. This was long expected because they need to meet with their commander-in-chief, they need to interact. So it was a morale booster. And since then, it has taken the fight against terrorism to a much higher level with great successes so far recorded from Friday through Saturday and Sunday. So yes, it was a morale booster.
Well, but beyond boosting the morale of the troops and also of members of the communities, the relevant communities, the president made it clear that there's a lot more to be done. You as a security expert, what are those things that government needs to focus on in terms of the president saying we need to do a lot more? Will it be Safe Schools initiative with the Senate president saying over the weekend that children don't want to go to school again in parts of the north because of the insecurity, particularly the girl child in the north is vulnerable? Or is it in terms of the welfare of the troops? Because it's not enough for the president to just visit them. What are those specific things that you think we need to do to be able to win the war and the peace?
Yeah, a lot still needs to be done, really, in the fight against terrorism. But one thing we must note, and very seriously, is that military actions alone cannot win the war for the country. There are a lot more that needs to be done. The public engagement is very, very important. And it's good that Mr. President met with some elders of Borno State to discuss with them at the Palace of the Shehu of Borno, which is very, very important because there is need for these elders to be able to call their wards, their children, their relatives to order and make them realize that it doesn't help if they make the region, continue to make the region unsafe and ungovernable because there will not be any development. Yes, that is one thing that needs to be done, and it has to be done urgently too. Like you pointed out, as part of morale booster is the welfare. So far, so good, but it could be better. But when you look at the economic condition of the country, you also agree that much as we wish to, or the government will wish to take care of these troops effectively or efficiently, not much can be done because there are other demanding factors in the country that needs resources. Then also hardwares. Yes, the president said it that some platforms, some hardwares will be arriving, some have already arrived. We're looking forward to seeing those being used and being deployed for the fight to actually be much, much effective because they need it. Much more important among this hardware is anti-mine vehicles because those areas were being there are a lot of mines, land mines put on the ground which is affecting farmers. For those who have communities that have returned, they want to go back to their farms, they want to farm, but they are also afraid of mines that may have been laid on their parts or in their farmland. So these are the things that need urgently, but more importantly, like I said, the communities have more work to do. You can win the war by military brute, military force, but you may not win the peace if the communities are not brought in to understand that the need for peace.
Right. I want to address the fact that the security issue that we're facing in Nigeria is like one of those from Greek mythology, the Lernaean Hydra. When you chop off one head, two grow in its place. The president has gone to the northeast, and there's some people like Senator Ali Ndume saying that he feels safer these days in Maiduguri than in Abuja, which suggests that the problem is migrating. We see all the banditry in the northwest. We see the new industry in the kidnap of school children. What is your take on all of this, and how should the military approach it?
Yeah, 3 years ago, here in this studio, I actually, and in some other forum which I also contributed to, I did warn that the impact of what is happening in the northeast may linger on and spread to across other zones of the country. And I did call for the intelligence unit of the Nigerian security to actually be on the ground to work closely with the communities to be able to prevent these people having safe abode to operate in other regions of the community. What is happening in other regions, particularly in the northwest and north central, has a lot to do with what is happening in the northeast, with the force being applied, being used to decimate the forces of the Boko Haram and its ally, the ISWAP. Most of their fighters are moving towards the northwest and the north central to be able to continue their adventure. And so some arms are also being moved across. Like you know, our border region, particularly with Niger, is very, very porous, also with Cameroon and Chad. So a lot of arms comes in easily through all these areas. So really, the problem that, like you did say, is hydro-headed in security challenges is quite strong. Now, what we expect that as much as we need the security agencies to work seriously, to be on the ground, to go locate where these people are, whether in the northeast or the northwest or the north central or any part of the region, they must identify them. They must engage the communities to be able to get them flushed out, because Nigerians desire peace, and they want peace so that development can go on. And that is the situation. But the Nigerians themselves, the citizens, have a lot of roles to play. If you recall, just a few days ago, some people were arrested in Kaduna State who baked bread and supplied to the bandits in the forest. These are Nigerians, and they know that these bandits are adopting people, killing people, raping women, but yet, according to them, it's business for them. So there is need for government and its agencies to reach out to these people in their various communities to be able to let them understand that if the communities are not safe, then their business will not also thrive. So really, it calls for seriousness from the part of the government, from the part of the security agencies, and the Nigerians themselves.
Okay, well, very quickly, I was going to ask you, at some point, Nigerians were saying change of personnel will result in improved performance on the part of the various security agencies prosecuting the war. But the president eventually changed the service chiefs. But we've not seen any significant difference, except we don't know, what that difference means. So why do you think that even with General Lucky Rabo and his team in place now, not much seems to be happening? The security threat is still very serious, particularly with regard to terrorism.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. The truth of the matter is that most Nigerians want to apply political solution to security issues. It doesn't work out. security issues is different from political challenges. At the time, Nigerians were calling for the change of service chiefs and all that. Some of us did actually said, no, that is not the solution. The solution must be identified and taken care of. Whether you change the whole personnel, it will still linger on, and that is the issue. Yes, the president hearkened to the cry and the yearnings of some of these Nigerians who wanted the service chief to be changed, even though some of us said, no, it's not the solution. We still have the same problem. The personnel that were brought in, led by Lieutenant General Lucky Rabo, are well grounded. He's an experienced officer. He has done a great lot of service for this country, defeating Boko Haram and all that. So he's capable. So it's not in area of whether the personnel we have are capable of doing it, whether if you change or not. No. The problem still lies with, one, political will, two, the communities and the people really working, identifying that this fight is not the military versus these insurgents or these bandits or this whoever. It's a fight against Nigerians. And so Nigerians must really have to buy into it and support by giving credible and timely information. That is the only way. Even if we bring all the security chiefs from abroad, you bring help from any other country, it will still linger on. If the locals did not, and I repeat, if the locals did not agree to support in the fight, currently what we are seeing in the northeast and northwest is that so many locals, for one reason or the other, are not supporting the security forces. So many locals are even more aligned to these bandits and to these insurgents, and that is what is continue make these people to get emboldened and come to attack, because the truth is that these locals have not felt governance. They've not felt the impact of government for a very long time. So these bandits have come as saviors to them by providing them maybe short-time relief or whatever, and they believe that these are the saviors. And they rather give the bandits information, give the insurgents information about the movement of the troops than giving the troops information. Those are the problems. So one of the things we are saying is that government must take development to these communities. Government must make them feel that they are part of the country so that they can be able to have confidence in the security agencies. Without that, this war will linger on for a very long time.
Well, I wanted to talk about the psychology of the people. You've just painted a really scary picture. How can that be addressed, that people are colluding with bandits and insurgents over their own government? I mean, how do you begin to address that?
It's very sad. Well, it's not colluding against the government, but colluding against the country, because even if this government leaves power and the situation is still on ground, it will continue. It's not the government, but it's the country. They've not felt that the government has been able, that the country have been able to touch their lives. I have visited most of the trouble spots. I have visited most of these front lines in the northeast and the northwest, and I can see, you see absence of governance. Most of the politicians who are in Abuja or in the state capitals talking about what should be done or what is done, where is safe and where is not safe, have not gotten in touch with their people in their communities. Their representatives have not relating back to them. So the people and the locals do not see impact. They don't understand what you and I were talking about, getting peace. They feel that these insurgents and these terrorists are even their saviors. They are protecting them. And that is the situation. So until government and government officials, those who are in authority or power, reach out to these people, make them to have the impact, like the governor of Borno State is doing, going to most of the communities, touching them. Just over the weekend, the governor of Kaduna State also went to the communities, even though it's coming a bit late, but these are the things they should do. The governors of these areas should go to their people. Their representatives who are in the national assemblies or state assemblies should go to their people and let them feel the impact of governance. Without that, I'm sorry to say that we will continue to have this issue we are talking about.
Right, real quickly, can you make a sense of what is happening in Kebbi? It's quite very nebulous, as it were. What's happening in Kebbi?
Yeah, again, I would say that is also a sad situation, because in the whole of the Northwest, Kebbi State and Jigawa State remain the most safest place and the place that have not been touched by these marauding bandits. But you'll know that the Fagore Forest, which provides sanctuary for these bandits, cut across these states, and we have been expecting and be hoping that things like this will not happen. And when the information filtered in some weeks ago that Kebbi State may be attacked, security agencies were at alert, but specifically, I think because the information did not pinpoint where this attack will be targeted at, so they were caught unawares, and it happened. I'm happy that the governor himself has now taken it up to personally coordinate the final rescue of those that were adopted. As we speak now, about 8 of the children have been adopted. And information I got yesterday evening was that unlike the figures that were being branded all in the media about 80 children adopted, it's not true. It's far lesser than that. But for any child that is even adopted, is a problem, is not something we should be glad about. And the governor has said he's going to lead the charge to ensure that all those that are adopted are rescued. But what I'm more concerned about is not about the rescue of these children or their teachers. What I'm concerned about is stopping this from happening again. Oftentimes, we'll have these issues happen, and we'll talk about, oh, I hope we can learn from the lessons. But it's obvious that we have not learned from any of these previous incidents, and that is actually troubling. There are things to take away from some of the incidents, from Kankara issues, from the one in Niger, from all the areas where schools have been attacked and the children have been adopted. There are similar tracks that can be taken, and it can be prevented. One of the things is talk about the issue about the Safer School initiative, which was launched since 2012. And unfortunately, actions have not been taken on that till we speak, serious actions. And the idea is close down schools that are far-flung, that are in most of the hinterlands. Concentrate some of these schools so that security can be properly coordinated for these children. Well, we are yet to see that. Yet, even though there are some people who says, no, you don't do so because you are making the bandits feel that they have won. Because some of these bandit actions, apart from the financial gains they intend to get, is to actually make the communities and the country look ungovernable and a state of anarchy. So by the time you panic, in panic, you close down schools, you're actually making them feel, yes, they've won, one of their aims have been achieved. So, but I believe that if government can, because we don't have sufficient manpower in terms of security forces to be able to cover all the schools and all the roads and all the communities. So the idea of safer schools should be quickly intensified so that it can be prevented. This incident of constant adoption of school children or communities being raided should be put to a stop. But one thing I want to tell you is that these bandits in the Northwest and wherever they are operating, they are also intelligent. They are intelligent people, even though they applied wrongly. They monitor activities that are being done. As the security forces are planning, they're also planning to change their strategy. So there's need to be able to plan in a way that you will not give out whatever plans you are having and be able to get these people out of our streets and out of our communities.
We're running out of time, but before we wrap it up with you, I wanted you to comment on the meeting of the Southeast governors over the weekend and the communique that they issued condemning secessionist movement and expressing their commitment to Ebubeagụ. Do you think that resolution will make any difference in the Southeast in terms of the security situation? Briefly.
Yes, I will tell you 100% it will make great lot of difference. Though it's coming late for me, I believe that they should have done this earlier. There is need for both community leaders, political leaders, youth leaders, opinion leaders in the Southeast to take a stand. And I'm happy that the governors are taking a stand. We can't allow secessionist group to create mayhem, because initially they were attacking security forces. They want to get arms. They want to make the area ungovernable for the people. And the next after that will be going towards attacking people of affluence in those communities, and that will become terrible. We saw it happen in 2011, 2009 in the northeast, when Boko Haram started their adventure. They started first attacking the security forces, and then before the communities and the people became victims. That is what was playing out in the southeast. And I tell you that it's time that the leaders of the northeast speak out and let us. If you need to break away, there are better ways of breaking away than putting the people and the society in a state of anarchy and confusion.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Patrick Agbambu, for joining us on the morning show. Thank you very much also for your insights.